Coach basically flew me down to New York. They wanted me to be a part of the collaboration that Michael B. Jordan did with Naruto. They wanted me to draw Michael B. Jordan as a Naruto character. When I performed at Scotiabank Arena, it was like a fast painting I did in 5 minutes while other people were performing at the same stage. Like while I'm painting, another person was playing a flute and then there was dancers. It was just about 25,000 people there watching it live, and like it was just crazy. Like at that moment, it was like okay, like this is getting big. Just take the leap of faith. If you have passion, you can actually do something with it. So when you're consistent with what you're doing and put in the effort, then you're just gonna make it.
They say that art is a window to the mind. Well, it seems my window is pretty blank, so we got an actual artist here instead. Welcome to the Generation Hustle Podcast, a show that explores the world of business, entrepreneurship, and culture, all centered around the millennial. I'm your co-host Sherston, alongside my good friend Amin, and today we're diving into the world of creative visual arts. Episode 30 is with Jyothee Murali. Better known by her brand JYXDI, Jyothee is a self-taught visual artist based out of Toronto. Against societal odds, as well as traditional South Asian cultural norms, Jyothee dropped out of school and nurtured her passion for painting into a full-fledged career. Her art ranges from realism, portraits, landscapes, and custom fan pieces with an emphasis on anime artwork. In a matter of years, she has grew her personal brand exponentially, collaborating with high-end clients such as Six Black, OVO, EXO, and Coach. We chat with Jyothee as she details her venture into art, her growth strategies, and the importance of prioritizing passion over profits. So without further ado, we hope you enjoy the show. I just want to go back to how you were starting, just drawing on the walls and stuff. So do you mean like you were actually, drawing artwork, or are you just like scribbling at that point?
I was two, so I was like scribbling, like just random crayons. Yeah, I guess for me, that time it was art. But when I look at it, it was just random scribbles.
Amin's a huge anime fan, so he's probably more well versed with that stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, what is your favorite show of all time?
I like Ajin.
Okay,
Did you
I
guys
haven't
watch
watched that personally. No.
You know, watch it. It's really good. I also like Parasite. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
That's a really good one. I just recently finished it, so yeah.
Awesome. So one of the things that we wanted to kind of jump into was with the South Asian community, kind of, there's a stigma around it and kind of pushing their kids to certain fields. And you touched on it as well in terms of, dropping out and kind of going full time with your art. Mm-hmm. How was that taken with your family? How was that taken with, I guess, the community in general? I'm sure you've had your setbacks with that.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, like my parents weren't okay with it at first. They were scared, like how I'm going to make it, stuff like that. And yeah, once I dropped out, they were tripping out. But after I just started like making money and like started doing stuff with it, and then they seen like they eventually came around. Honestly, like they just want you to do good. So it's like really difficult for them to like see that, because back in the days, like taken for Sri Lanka, like when they were doing art back then, they weren't getting paid like how you are here, because now we have social media. So like it's a lot of things that come into factor.
What would you kind of suggest to people kind of starting up and trying to enter that field? It doesn't necessarily have to be visual arts, any kind of art, but dealing with that stigma.
It's funny you say that, because yesterday I was at the being interviewed by 102.7. It was a Tamil radio, yeah. And after that interview, I got like DMs from people, and there's one of them. It was like a mom. She was messaging me. She's like, her daughter wants to do art in university, and she doesn't know what to do. Like she's confused. Should we like let her go do art, or like do kinesiology? Yeah. So she called me. I answered, and like we talked, and like I was like, can I talk to the daughter? And like when I asked the daughter, what do you want to do? She's like, she want to do art. So I'm like, go for art then. Like, you know what I mean? Like just follow your heart and like just take the leap of faith, because like if you have passion, you can actually do something with it. So when you're consistent with what you're doing and put in the effort, then you're just gonna make it.
With that being said, like how did you kind of put your art out there first? Obviously through social media, but you were starting out kind of building your brand. How did you put your artwork out there, and like what were your strategies there?
Honestly, it's all Instagram. Like when I started my Instagram, I had like 2,000 followers, something like that, in like 1-2 weeks. And then I just started posting more content, and then people just started following me, and like, yeah, this is Instagram mainly.
Just
But I
purely
posted on
Instagram.
other,
Yeah.
yeah, I have like other social medias too, Facebook page, TikTok, YouTube, but like mainly it's Instagram for sure.
For sure. Yeah. So are you leaning towards one or any other now, especially with TikTok? And I ask that because I think like the short form videos of you creating or you painting, things like that, those are kind of where the culture is moving. And I think people are kind of getting away from Instagram. So like things like that, is that some stuff that you look at as well when you're building that brand?
Yes, for sure. I look up to like what kind of apps that's trending and what's actually like what people are using, even like younger people, our generation. So I think that's a really important factor. So I started posting on TikTok, and I edit my videos there too because like they have some cool edits.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I just post videos there, and I just bring those videos to Instagram, post it on the reel too. So I know Instagram reels are really popping right now. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
and
long
it's,
does it take you to create like a reel? Like, you know how you're doing a time skip of like basically painting? Like,
mhm.
what's that like? Are you just like recording like bits and pieces as you go?
Yeah, sometimes like I record on my phone if I'm home, like especially now during the pandemic. Yeah, I just put a time lapse, and like yeah, I'm not finishing in a one day. So like if it's a big painting, it might even go up to like 2 to 3 weeks. So something like this, like I did like for like a month.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really cool.
thank you. It's a huge painting, so like it takes a really long time. But sometimes I just put my phone, record it, or if I'm working with a photographer or a videographer, then like they come record it for me.
Can you talk to what inspires your work, or at least from the early days as well? Because you kind of have a diverse set of things that your artwork kind of goes plays through. Obviously, you just showed us what you have behind you there, which is completely different from anime. But yeah, like what inspires you, and kind of where do you take that from?
Um, these ones are my originals. So right now I'm working on my original series called Elements. So I'm painting all the 5 elements. So far I have Earth. That one's Earth. Her name is Gaia. And then I have Water. I've done Soul. I'm working on Air right now. The last one's gonna be Fire. So eventually, when I finish this series, I just want to have like an exhibition. Hopefully, maybe if this pandemic ends. But yeah,
Yeah,
like what inspires me would be just like spirituality. Like I'm just diving deeper into that. I think each painting, like I have like a reason to paint it. I guess like or you could say that unless it's like a custom painting, the like client asked me to paint it and I will paint it.
you've worked with like high end clients such as Six Black, OVO, EXO. I don't know who in those brands, obviously, but can you speak to that and like how these opportunities came about? I'm sure Instagram was a huge motivator in terms of for them noticing you, but can you speak to those experiences?
So EXO, Noah Shabib, that's Drake's producer. OVO 40. He messaged me on Instagram. He wanted me to paint shoes for his niece for a
Okay.
Christmas gift. So I painted those and I gave it to him. And also I gave them a painting for the studio. Yeah, it was a nice opportunity. Like it was unbelievable. And then EXO, this guy from the EXO group, he wanted a painting for Lamarcy Taylor. That's Weekend's creative manager. Yeah, so they wanted a painting for him, and yeah, I painted it. It was Death Note,
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
yeah, anime painting. So I painted that and gave it to them. That was really nice. And also, Coach basically flew me down to New York and wanted me to be a part of the collaboration that Michael B. Jordan did with Naruto. Coach, the line, clothing line. So I was there for the Comic Con, New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
That was nice. And also I basically they wanted me to draw Michael B. Jordan as a Naruto character,
Yeah.
and I did that on digital art, and then we did like a video like at the headquarters, coach headquarters. That was yeah, that was nice.
What do you think the stigma around like anime is? Like a lot of people think it's just like a cartoon,
Mhm.
but you see all these like artists, like you just mentioned, individuals in EXO, Michael B. Jordan, and stuff like that, are all interested in this like whole anime world. What do you think is like why hasn't it been like popular culture with like different folk, and why it's kind of stigmatized in I guess a negative manner and saying it's like it's just a cartoon?
They also say call like people who watch anime nerds, and there's a lot of stigma against it. I think it's just like I don't know, like something about anime, just like art, art in motion. That's why I like it personally.
What was like that first collaboration? Like, did you have an aha moment or like, shit, I kind of made it moment? Like, because you've worked with such big brands, and now I feel like you kind of just tossed Michael B. Jordan in there very nonchalantly. So I just want to ask, like, what was the first moment where you were kind of like, yo, shit, like this is something that this is going to be something big.
Mhm. When I performed at the Arena, Scotiabank Arena, 2 years ago, I was about 25,000 people there watching it live, and like it was just crazy. Like at that moment, it was like the okay, like this is getting big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a fast painting I did in 5 minutes while other people were performing at the same stage. So it was like crazy. Like while I'm painting, another person was playing a flute, and then there was dancers. It was unreal. That was a good moment.
Kind of working from that, one of the things that we wanted to look at was artist compensation.
Hmm.
And you touched on it as well. You've had huge success, but that took some time. And I think that's where kind of that issue is. Um, Recently, I don't know if he's a big artist or something that you know, but his name is Darren Thomas McGee, and he created like this huge uh, issue, I should say, on Instagram, where he put out a message saying how Instagram artists don't get the type of compensation that they should, in the sense that like we can share your artwork through stories and posts if you want to, and you might never know, you might never get that credit, and things like that. So he's really trying to create a conversation around artist compensation. Can you speak to that and kind of your experience through that? And maybe like some of the things that we don't understand, in terms of how artists do make money.
Honestly, like if your name is already in the picture, that's why I always watermark my paintings. So like even someone reposts it, like there's still publicity going around that piece. But like I don't think I want a compensation just because someone else is reposting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's I think it's art, and like I just want to get it out there. If it makes someone's day, I'm happy with that. So I see it.
Yeah, I guess it goes to that old kind of thought process like there's no bad thing is like bad or good marketing.
Yeah,
It's still getting shared and
exactly.
viewed, and like people are probably going to her page and then it might help them go to her site and purchase something.
Mhm.
What is the next step for you in terms of where do you want to take your brand, and where do you like what do you see for your future here? And obviously, I'm sure you want to keep some things secret, so you don't have to tell us everything.
Honestly, I want to start a clothing line, and I'm doing it with my artwork. I'm releasing one in spring this year.
Nice.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, like that's my next step. Moving onwards, I went back to Sri Lanka like 5 years ago, and I taught a lot of kids like how to paint in Jaffna area. So there, like they did not have like proper teaching like for art because they didn't give importance to art, and they didn't have materials. So like when I went there, like I felt like I had the need to like actually build a school there for art because here we have OCAD and like at least like art degrees like stuff like that, but they don't have that there, I guess. So like especially in Jaffna area, so like I really want to build one there in like upcoming years. Hopefully, I'm aiming for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, so we always just do this at the end, just to ask a few fun questions, like Shirsten mentioned. Just the first question is, what's your favorite book or movie of all time?
Book would be Yuza. It's on Amazon. It's about body, mind, soul, and like
Okay.
there's everything that you need to know is in there. Movie would be Avatar.
The actual like, what do I call it? The non-animated version, or like, is there an animated
Honestly, I
version
love
too?
both.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the movie, The Blue People.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was talking about Airbender or whatever.
To be honest, that's what I was thinking too.
I love Airbender too, but I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, okay, awesome. So like you've had a busy day, and you're drawing, you've done your paintings. What's your best way to unwind after a long, busy day at work?
I meditate. I meditate for like at least 20 minutes a day sometimes. Um, and also I do yoga. That helps. And I spend time with my family. They kind of
Nice,
like help me loosen up a bit.
sweet. What would be the best piece of advice you can give any young individual kind of trying to pursue their passion? And just in terms of our community, like we've mentioned, to kind of heal those kind of stigmas that we have.
Honestly, if you love something that you do, then go for it. Like, no matter what, don't listen to anyone, even your own parents. Put in your effort and your time, and eventually you're gonna make it. Just be consistent with it.
Sweet. And we always ask this like controversial question at the end. I'm not sure if you're a fan of pizza, but do you like pineapples on your pizza? Yes or no?
I like both.
That's a cop out answer.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good, but I eat it without it too. Like, I don't know, it's just two different tastes, you know? It's like
If
asking, do
you
you like,
yeah,
yeah, it's like two different things. Like,
if you were to order one, would you order with like just out of instinct? Yeah, I'm gonna get pineapple. Like
uh,
that's what Sherston is. He's
yeah,
gonna order. Yeah, see.
We're
if it
sorry.
if it's there, you'll eat it. But like, I'm not gonna go out of
yeah,
my way to
yeah,
say, hey,
exactly. I
yo,
Yeah,
feel
give
I'm
me
in feisty
pineapples on
on
my
this.
pizza, man.
yeah,
Nah.
Yeah, I'm in
Fruit,
feisty on this.
yeah,
Maybe it's a
fruit,
Tamil thing. I don't know.
yeah,
fruits don't belong on a
maybe.
pizza, bro. No, that's just me.
That's hilarious. Hey, that's kind of like the bulk of our podcast. We wanted to understand your story and kind of just get your message out there and see what you're doing. And we love to see your brand continue to grow. And you obviously have a lot of things for the future and with the school and your clothing line. So we're looking forward to see where it goes. And thank you again for coming on here. We really enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.